So, once again, we linguists have our own three arms as to how a language ought to operate. In this case, the English language. And why not? Even the others, French, Bantu languages. In our case, we have the linguistic parliament. Who are the members there? These are grammarians. They will study the language, how it is being used by educated people, non-educated people, and semi-educated people, and come up with rules, laws, to prescribe how the language operates. And then they would identify, this is the academic, type of language, this is formal, and then which is called RP, or received pronunciation. The other one is semi-formal, informal, used in a family environment and among friends. The other one is slang, colloquial, and so on. So, everything has to follow certain rules. These are our parliamentarians, grammarians. They make rules on usages, part of speech, they identify part of speech, the sound, phoneticians, and multiple meanings. You see? And then we also have in yellow two ministries. The Ministry of Linguistic Justice and the Ministry of Linguistic Education. The Ministry of Linguistic Justice, that's where now we use our constitution. Here would be, this is a book of grammar textbooks. Here is dictionaries. If there is any disagreement, we will fall back to the dictionaries for proper guidance. And then Ministry of, this is now the law enforcers, right, wrong, it will be shown in these dictionaries. And here Ministry of Linguistic Education, teachers are the people putting into practice these prescriptions from the grammarians into practice to the students. They too, teachers, have to follow a laid down pattern. There is no teacher who can walk into a classroom and start talking any nonsense. No, they have to follow the syllabus created by the Linguistic Ministry of Education. And that's what they have to teach. And when they come into a classroom, there should be and the name of the topic should be, mentioned to the pupils, to the learners. So that's how we operate. Now, let me show you something about these dictionaries. We have here three types of dictionaries. So, the first one is this small thing which we call pocket dictionary. This should never be found in a normal classroom. You see, it goes into my pocket. Why shouldn't it be? Because it's very shallow. It doesn't go far with information. It should be maybe used for something else, not for a classroom, situation. Then we have this one, Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary. This is a classroom dictionary. Look at the thickness. Whether it is Longman, Cambridge, not Cambridge, Cambridge, Collins, Macmillan's, it should have this thickness. It should be portable, paperback if necessary. And because this one is not shallow, it's really deep, contains a wealth of knowledge, part of speech, sound, how to use this word, a lot of illustrative sentences, syllabic sentences, study pages are here, and even tutorial, study pages. We have extra materials apart from the meanings, and so we cannot do without this. I recommend that every home having school-going children ought to have at least one of these dictionaries. Cambridge, Oxford, Longman, whatever, of these, not pocket dictionary. You are narrowing, the horizon of your children. To today's lesson, titled Dictionary Word Pronunciations and Syllabic Traces. This lesson concerns the pronunciation of the same past tense of the regular verb, having more than one pronunciations, depending on the nature as well as on the function of that SP, that is to say the past tense and past participle. But before jumping into this, before developing the topic, I want to inform you that there will be two types of information. Whatever will be found inside the round bracket would be my personal contribution as a language detective, and the rest will be the actual lesson to be, conducted with you. So let me now open the first round bracket and say that of late I've been hearing on the social media, even in the classroom, a lot of mispronunciations among the public speakers, and this is not really very conducive to proper learning. We have been told that there is an English alphabet somewhere. The truth of the matter is there has never been and there will never be an English alphabet anywhere. What we have are well-known historical alphabets, like the Roman alphabet, the Cyrillic alphabet, the Sanskrit alphabet, the Arabic alphabet, the hieroglyph alphabet, and so on. Let me open another bracket within that bracket and say that the hieroglyph alphabet has nothing to do with modern day Egypt, because modern day Egypt is governed by Arabs who invaded North Africa in the 7th century. They have not been there all along until the 7th century, when the Rashidun Caliphate conquered North Africa to spread their religion among other reasons. That was in 647 CE, Common Era. In Christianity we call it AD. You see, Islam, was born 6 centuries or 7 centuries after Christianity had established itself among the people. So that was I'm closing now the quotation within the quotation, and I proceed with the first quotation I've opened. Those saying that the English alphabet exists are misleading people. They're not really misleading, actually they are disinforming. I am very confident that they know for sure that there isn't any English alphabet anywhere. What the reality is that what we call today Western Europe and even part of Eastern Europe were once a Roman colony. They were colonized by the Holy Roman Empire. And because they were colonized, the Romans brought their language, Latin, with the alphabet, the Roman alphabet. So the A to Z are Roman alphabet, not English alphabet. Those saying that English has got 27, letters in the alphabet. The 27th, they call it ampersand. Ampersand comprises 3 letters, A and N and D, and that's a conjunction. When we talk of alphabet, we mean letters, the smallest unit, or drawing diagrams and so on. So it's not true to say that there is an English alphabet on the radio. You are misleading the small ones, the small learners, into the bush, and that is not conducive to their proper learning tomorrow. Disinforming people with, mendacious propaganda is not going to make these learners confident and acquire the proper knowledge tomorrow. So that's what I wanted to say concerning the English alphabet. There isn't any, I repeat again. What we have are Roman alphabet. By way of illustrations, by the way, you see, the Romans, we all went to school and we learned that we have got Roman numerals. Now, what are these Roman numerals? Roman numerals are the 7 letters from the Roman alphabet used by the Romans to represent numbers. And so, let me use the red color. The Roman had used I to represent number 1, 2, and 3 Arabic numbers. They used V to represent 5, X to represent 10, L for 50, C for 100, and D, my handwriting is not, it's horrible. You do this, okay? Red for 500, and then M for 1000. These are the 7 letters the Roman had used to form what we call Roman numerals, which all schools are teaching. So, what on earth, how on earth can English alphabet give rise to Roman numerals? It doesn't make any sense. Let us avoid misleading or disinforming the learners, especially those at primary school, with fake information for particular, for mendacious propaganda. That is not true. So, having said that, I close now my brackets, and now let's go straight into the subject matter. And then we start here. Just like the government has got 3 arms to operate, to run a country, we linguists also have our own 3 arms to organize, to prescribe, and to recommend a particular type of language. We have 3 arms. The government has got a parliament, okay? Parliamentarians are lawmakers. The government has got the judiciary and the executive, the 3 arms of any government. We too, the useless pocket dictionary for a classroom, and the recommended. Introduce to you this hardcover library reference dictionary for library. So, in a library, this one has got really enough entries, and it has more information, more entries than any other. So, a library dictionary is a reference dictionary for professionals and any other researcher. You cannot carry it, it's heavy, it's bulky, into a classroom. These are the 3 types of dictionaries we have in the world. And now, I was saying, every home, I want to repeat, because repetition is part of any learning process. If you don't repeat, you forget. I want to repeat that every home having school-going children ought to own at least 1 recommended classroom dictionary. Actually, it could be Cambridge, not the no, Cambridge, Collins, Macmillan, okay, Longman, so long, even Webster from America. It should be there. It will help the children improve their language performances on their own. We teachers are not angels, but in a normal school, there is a library where children can also fish out information on their own, and when they don't understand, they ask the teacher. The teacher will explain to them. So that's what I'm saying about the 3 arms, the 3 linguistic arms of English, French, or Bantu languages, any language for that matter. So, we must know that these European countries, let me repeat myself from time to time, were once, I've already said it, a colony of the Holy Roman Empire. It's the Romans who brought the writing system to these Europeans. And the hieroglyph alphabet has nothing to do with the current inhabitant of Egypt. These are invaders who came from the Arabian Peninsula to conquer North Africa in order to spread their religion and to get involved in slave trades. So let's put the record straight. Let's not cheat the young minds about misleading them for particular intention. No one is special, we are all equal. And therefore, I want now us to go into the first part of this presentation, this lesson. It comprises 7 parts. We start with the first part. Same spelling, but two different pronunciations. What do we mean by that? We are going to deal with the past tense of regular verbs only. Those ending, forming their past tense and past participle by the addition of the suffix ed to the bare infinitive. You know, that's the one. So, in order to pronounce any easily confusing pairs of sounds from the same spelling with supreme confidence, and without embarrassing oneself in public with cacophonic pronunciations, one is cordially invited to watch this video. You are most welcome to watch this video, dear viewers. The contents of this video aim at cutting down, reducing the frequency of mispronunciation. Cut down is reduce, cut out is eliminate, if not cutting them out altogether. Church ministers sermonizing their congregations, public speakers addressing their audiences, lawyers ruling in and out their verdict in courts of law, and above all, teachers imparting knowledge to their learners in English stand to improve their oral proficiency by abiding solely to prescribed dictionary sounds. In other words, a dictionary is the final authority. I do quarrel with some dictionaries in their illustrative sentences, but never in their entry spellings and meanings. No, there, my hat off to all the dictionaries. It's a fantastic, near perfect job. I only argue with them in terms of their illustrative sentences. You know, they are not always up to the, point. Now, to start with, let me remind you, my esteemed viewers, that some regular verbs forming their preterites, so I was saying, those regular verbs forming their preterites and past participle by adding the suffix ed are to be pronounced in two different ways, depending on whether that ed thus formed is a noun, a predicate, a predicative adjective, an attributive adjective, a simple past tense, or a past participle. So we have the label, the name of that, past tense or past participle, and the function it plays in the sentence. Having consulted such authoritative dictionaries as the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, Cambridge Advanced Learners Dictionary, Cambridge International Dictionary of English, Oxford Hachette English, Webster, and a couple of online dictionaries, I can confidently deduce that the suffix ed may be pronounced as either d or t, or as it, as an approximate phonetic rule. So the ed, generally speaking, has two sounds. Either it is d or t or it. We will see when that is the case. So we come now to part 2, grammar and phonetic prescriptions on suffix ed. We are going to give you some rules. Wherever we go, even in the forest, in the jungle, we have to be mindful of where we are stepping. If we step on a venomous snake, it will turn around and bite us, and we will die on the spot. If we disturb a wasp's nest, we will be in trouble also. If you want to rent a place, there will be rules. Rules are everywhere. And so we should also abide by those rules for communication to take place, and also for avoidance of any trouble. There is no way. The rich people take their children to school, the poor people. So that we go there not to learn to repeat what we already know, no, to learn the correct form of the language. When we were at primary school, we were being told to pronounce ah by opening the mouth, ah, like that. And then we were being told a, and then e, stretching the lips, ear to ear smile, e, and then o, and then oo. This will be there forever until we are normal. That's why we take children to school. Otherwise, why do we take them to school? It's not to repeat what they already know, it's to learn what they don't know. And there are rules everywhere, we are just from talking about it. So, that's what we are saying here. If this ED is a past simple tense, or simple past tense, which is also called preterite, spelled like this, or like with an E or without an E, if it is a past participle, or a predicative adjective, the suffix ed ought to sound as either d or t, simply that. When used as an attributive adjective or a noun, the suffix ed is to be pronounced as ed, ed. There. Now, coming back to this one, when the suffix ed is preceded by the consonant t and d, its dictionary sound is invariable tid and did. Salted, salted, branded. That's an exception. They are there. So now let's go again into now more examples of the ed producing two different sounds. The first one is this word. It can be pronounced as blessed when it is a past participle and predicate adjective. It can also be pronounced as blessed. One phonetic sound, one phonetic syllable, syllabic sound, two phonetic syllable, phonetic sounds. Blessed, look at the example. Aren't you blessed with excellent health? Aren't you? You see, that's British pronunciation, RP, received pronunciation. Aren't you? Because in America, R will be pronounced. Aren't you? We come to this one as attributive. You know, we have four columns. Ed itself, as predicate and predicative adjective, T. As attributive adjective and as a noun, two sounds. Blessed. Blessed. So, you know, it will be very, embarrassing for a church minister to stand in front of the congregation and say, the Blessed Mary. No, it's not blessed. It's the Blessed Virgin Mary. And then here in our Catholic Church. And then here, blessed. The blessed will inherit the divine kingdom. It's not the blessed, it's the blessed. We have to follow the grammar, what the grammarians advise. Next one is this one. It too has got two sounds, cast and cast it. Cast it. She cast you at noon. What a cast old car, attributively used. It is followed by a noun, so it is used attributively. Predicatively simply means an adjective which can never be followed by a noun. And predicative is an adjective which must always be followed by a noun. That's the difference between the two in their usages. And as a noun, we have already said it there. When I put a THE, this becomes a noun. When I say the rich are stingy, I mean all the rich people are stingy. So an adjective, ed, preceded by THE, the definite article, becomes actually a noun. So we say the blessed will inherit the divine kingdom, like that. So we come to this one, it's the same thing, the cast, all right? Two sounds. Aged, as you can see, there is an asterisk there, a star, which means there is something we have to say about it. So it has two sounds too. There is aged and aged. Aged, one phonetic syllabic sound, two phonetic syllabic sound. Aged. So here, for instance, example, two boys aged 8 and 11. And then someone looks at you, he's aged so fast. You see? Aged so fast. So this is used as a past tense, or no, as a past participle, as a preterite. Okay? Now here, we have got meet her aged aunt. And here, the aged are frail but wise and experienced. Now, on this one, that's why there is that asterisk. The Oxford University the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, 8th edition, has got this one classified as aged, which is wrong. But the Cambridge Advanced Learners Dictionary, 4th edition, has got the same example as, an attributive adjective. Who's right, who's wrong? We go back to that triangle of ours, the three arms of linguistic arms of the language, and there we will be told if it is used in front of a noun, if it must be followed by a noun, it is an attributive adjective. And that's why we say Cambridge is right and Oxford has made a small blunder there. It's not correct to say this is aged. It's aged aunt. And by the way, in the 10th edition, which I've just shown you, this mistake has been corrected by Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary. Now this has been classified as aged. So they realize their mistake. So you can see that no one is perfect. We all make mistakes, but we have to correct them continuously because we are not perfect angels. Talking about the same, when we go now to Webster, the American dictionary, there we have got, an illustration. Webster, 3rd New International Dictionary. In there, they have said that their illustration is a man aged 40 years. What kind of English is that? Once you say aged, we don't need years. Years is a dead word. It's a needless repetition. It's tautology, it's redundancy. We don't need it. So it's another mistake from the Webster Dictionary from America. You can check it. It's there, here in Lusaka. We can go to Katondo Street, the dictionary is there. You go to the entry aged. One of their illustrations is this one, where they say, a man aged 40 years. That is ungrammatical. That is needless repetition. Once you say aged, years are already involved there. So don't mention years, but they've mentioned it. And yet that dictionary, Webster, is a library dictionary. It's almost 500 lexicographers, compilers, who put their heads together to produce that powerful, authoritative document. Still mistakes are there. So who are we as individuals not to make mistakes from time to time? All we need to do is to remain critical readers. I have no quarrel with dictionaries, really, in terms of how their entries, their meanings, they are part of speech. No. My problem is their illustrative sentences. I want to repeat that one to make it clear. I'm not all out to destroy whatever, whoever it is, no. But I just want to point out that the people charged with, illustrating these entries ought to pull up their socks a bit and become, more efficient. That's about what I said. So it's the same situation here. This one can give us length, learn it, learn it. Examples are there for you to read. This one can give us also two sounds, legged and leg it, leg. A three-legged stool. The long-legged are fast nouns. Upon seeing me, they legged down the hill. They ran away. Here we have got used and used and used. I'm not used to you. Used. Okay? Used bikes, bicycles. Okay? Attributively used. Beloved. Two phonetic syllables. Okay? And here, three phonetic syllables. Beloved. And so, am I beloved by her? He is beloved, son, my beloved, my darling. Dogged, and then dogged, dogged. He dogged his spouse because he didn't trust him very much. A dogged detective. I suppose I'm also one of those dogged detectives of languages, because I want to always go deeper to fish out the naked truth. The dogged are never quitters. That was 2. We now go to 3. Let's look at this chart. If it can help you also improve your pronunciation. When you see these spellings, we are going from short monophthongs E to diphthongs I and reversing. Bit, bite, bite, bit, ride, ring, sit, sight, stripe, strip, trip, tripe, wine, win, pipe, peep, mean, mine, fine, like that. Because of the addition of E at the end, the sound changes for the same spelling. We now come to number 4. Again here, like any other human beings, I too do make mistakes. So we are going from short monophthongs R to diphthongs. Here it is supposed to be A, not that. Let's correct it in green. I'm also a human being. Okay, A. Okay? So we get at, 8, can, I've taken it, fat, fate, mate, mat, said, sat. If I do like this, tapping, tape recorder, rate, rat, and so on. Okay?
Go.
We now come to part 5, which is now, we are going from long monophthongs, R, to diphthongs, air, and vice versa. So, from long R to these diphthongs, I have something to say here again. You see, when children come to school, their classrooms are normally decorated with visual aids. Even in the exercise books, you can find multiplication table is there, and to help children always, we round them up with educational visual aids every time they are at school. Now, our friends in the hard sciences, chemistry, physics, mathematics, have it easy. They all produce the same visual aids throughout without any distortion. If you go from liters to pints, pints to quarts, quarts to gallon, they will give you the same measurement. Kilometers into miles or vice versa, same measurement. Celsius to Fahrenheit and vice versa, same formulas or formulae. Alright? Sorry, formulae. When I add AE, it becomes formulae, plural, Latin plural, formulae. But those are science subjects, and which you call natural sciences, okay? Now, for us of the soft sciences, where we have languages, information subject, like languages, we sometimes get misled by people who are not aware. It's not their intention, but they just take it for granted. I can do whatever I want because I've got money, which is not the case. I've seen exercise books. At the back of the exercise books, it's written there, long vowels. And they put the diphthongs as being the long vowels, which is not true. You see, if you download information from the YouTube and the social media, not everything is the gospel truth. Most of it, is misleading, it's not true. If you want to print some educational materials, consult the people who are expert at it. In this case, linguists. We have the University of Zambia here. We have got noted, distinguished linguists. Go and consult. Pay them some money. Don't be stingy. They will tell you, this is not a long vowel. This is a diphthong. You can say dip or diphthong. It has 2 sounds. Okay? Dip or diphthong. They will tell you, long vowels are always followed by a feature quantity. Like this one. That's a long vowel. When you mislead small children like that, it is difficult for them to undo that information later on. So you are taking them in the wrong direction. It's not fair. You have money, you have machinery, consult the experts to publish the correct information. Don't take it for granted. I saw it on YouTube, I saw it on Facebook. Those are not reliable sources. Go to the university, consult the expert, pay them, and they will give you the good information. And children will benefit a lot. That was another round bracket as a language detective, my personal observation. So we go like this: bar, bear; chair, chow; ma, mare, a female horse; and then pear, pow; tear, tow; fair, the bus fare, okay, and then far, car, okay, like that. The star, stare. 6. We go from short monophones, E, which is short because there is no quantity, E, to diphthongs, I, and inversely. So, bit, bite; dime, dim; fine, thin; mean, mine; pipe, tip; trip, tripe; stripe, strip, stars and stripes, American flag; sight, sit; shin, shine; ripe, rape. That was number 5. And now we come to the final part of our lesson, today's lesson. We are moving from diphthongs, I, to short monophones, E, and in the reverse. So we go I and E, I and E. Aspire. By the way, whatever you see, capitalized, the syllable which is capitalized means stress syllable. So we get aspire, aspiration; confide, confidence; contrite, contrition; deride, derisory, derisive, derision; decide, decisive, decision; divide, divisor, divisive, division, divisible; elide, elision; expire, expiration; inspire, inspiration. So basically, this is the little that I thought I should share with you today in today's lesson, so that we can all improve, our learners' ability to speak with supreme confidence wherever they stand. Phonetics is really key to oral proficiency. With all having been crystal clearly explained, Lundula Publishing House hopes that the acute awareness of sound and stress changes developed in this presentation will, to a large extent, greatly contribute towards making you a fluent and confident speaker and reader of academic English, not informal English, not slang, not colloquial. Before parting company, let me also say something personal which is bothering me. I've been receiving a lot of reports. I've also seen it myself. Some people, the so-called bogus book publishers, have been publishing and selling my books without my permission. This is very cruel indeed. You see, we chased the so-called colonizers because we said they were exploiting us. Why is it that now we ourselves are exploiting one another like this? It's not fair at all. Why can't we work together? You have the money, I have the knowledge, we put them together, we produce something for our learners to also compete internationally and favorably. So, I've been reported time after time over the years that my books are being sold at some top library in West Africa by friends and even strangers who just meet me in town here in Lusaka. Say, we saw your books in such a library. I've never sold anything in West Africa, but they are selling on my behalf. Why do you want to reap where you didn't sow? It's very unfair. This is my appeal to you, dear friends. And then, so now, if you really want the textbook, these are my textbooks. This is the address where you can find them. And let me introduce some of my textbooks to you. dear viewers, the latest. So this is my upper primary textbook. See, second edition, that's where we are. So if you have a first edition, you are missing a lot. And there are many mistakes there. This one is an improved version edition. A new edition means less faulty. This is how it is done, and this is how, at the back we have the synopsis, okay, the summary of everything. That's for teachers, that's for pupils, upper primary. You contact me on those addresses. Now, we come to this one, is for junior secondary, grade 8 and 9, 4th edition. If you don't have this one, you are missing a lot. Please contact us and we can organize to send you, as we said here. Even if you're outside the country, there is DHL is there. We will always contact you. And this is how the teachers also has been, the synopsis is pupils, teachers. Everything is there. And then we also have these for senior English. So this is 8th edition. If you don't have 8th edition, you are missing a lot. So please make an effort. You cannot reap where you didn't sow. If you want good things come with a price, you have to buy. You can't get knowledge, acquire knowledge without investing money. So this is 8th edition. If you don't have 8th edition, you are missing a lot. This is for students, this is for teachers, and at the back, we have that same information. That's for teachers, and that's for pupils. And we also have, a French one. The French textbook is here. Unfortunately, it hasn't got, right now, it's teacher's book. It is also there. I just forgot to put it, with my luggage. And so that's how it is for the French textbook. So it's over to you to contact us, and we do business properly, or even organize workshops at your school for phonetics, whatever it is. I've been organizing workshops here and there. There's nothing wrong with that. So I wish to thank you most heartily, cordially, and I do also invite you to await a new edition, funds permitting. Funds permitting. Thank you very much for your time and your attention, and do share, do like, and do subscribe to our channel, LPH. Thank you very much once again.